My name is Katie Cleves. I'm 24 years old and I am from Birmingham in the United Kingdom. So my first memory of being abducted was about 2 years ago. I woke up one night and felt something in the room with me. Like I could sense this kind of presence, but it was dark and I couldn't see anything, and for some reason I couldn't move my body. It was like I was paralysed, but I could still move my eyes around. So my eyes started to adjust to the darkness a little, and I noticed this dark figure kind of standing in the corner of my room, and I panicked, but I couldn't move and I couldn't scream. So as soon as I saw it came over to my side of the bed, but it seemed more like it was gliding than walking, like it wasn't moving its legs, like it was floating just above the ground. It stopped right in front of me, and in the darkness I could barely see its face, but the first thing I saw were these big black eyes, and these eyes were so disturbing that I thought I was going to die, that the fear was so intense, and I didn't think it was possible to feel fear this extreme. And it slowly reached its arm out towards me and kind of touched my head, and I must have blacked out or fallen asleep, because that's my last memory. So I woke up the next morning with like a splitting headache, and I remembered having a dream about that night, about being in like a large metallic room and with a bunch of little beings surrounding me, and I had these large eyes that looked like the thing that I saw in my room, but I can only remember a few scenes and images from this dream, and I don't know what actually happened. Actually, my girlfriend noticed a red mark behind my ear a couple of days later, and she thought I was probably bit by a spider, and I thought that's what caused my headache. So I saw my doctor because I was afraid I'd been like poisoned or something, but he told me it looked more like a puncture wound, but not a spider bite, like I was stabbed with something sharp. Since then I've been having these dreams. I'm taken from my bedroom, like I'm being lifted from my bed, and the next thing I know I'm on the table in this big room with metal walls with the same big-eyed creatures surrounding me, but I can never remember what happens or what they do, but I really feel like that these are more than just dreams. And I've noticed marks on my neck and my arms, that like I was burned or marked by something, and when these appear it's always after having these dreams. So I think something is happening and it's not just dreams, and I really do think these beings are real. It's happened way too many times for it to just be a coincidence, and I know these aren't just dreams, and I don't know what to do, honestly, but I feel like I'm always scared, like especially when I go to sleep and when I go to bed. Like I always feel something watching me, and I don't know what to do, because people just think I'm crazy and I have enough problems as it is. So I'm sharing this just to let people know that there is something happening, and I've heard other people with similar experiences, so I know it's not just me and it's not just in my head, but I really don't know what to do.
My name is Lyle Benson. I'm from Liverpool and I'm 23 years old. I don't know where to start this. Well, it started when I was a kid. I must have been 8 or 9 years old when I started being visited at night by these people. They weren't actually people. Like, they definitely weren't humans, because they would come through the wall from outside into my room, and they would take me out of my body. When I'd be trying to sleep, they'd grab my ankles and pull me back and forth until I felt like I was swaying on a swing, and I'd feel this energy around me like I was vibrating, and then they'd pull me up and I'd be floating above my body. They were about my height back then as well, like about here, standing. and they were bald and had light blue skin. They almost looked human, except for, the blue skin and their faces. Their faces looked like something out of a cartoon, like big eyes, tiny noses, and tiny mouths. They would have me above my bed. I'd be looking down at myself, lying there. And then they'd pull me away. They'd grab my hand and they would take me through space, through stars and galaxies, into different planets. They had the ability to open wormholes or portals to different dimensions. They would try to teach me all these things that I could never understand. The one detail that I remember clearly is that they said they were trying to show me the keys to existence. When I got older, it stopped happening. I started to convince myself that it was just a dream, that I'd imagined it. But the memories never went away. But I couldn't access them. It was like, have you ever had one of those dreams or ideas where they're trapped in like a far corner of your mind, and you try to reach for them or call them forward, but every time you do, they seem to slip further and further away? It was like that. Like, I knew they were there, but there was a wall keeping me from accessing them. Then around 5 years ago, I started meditation, just for mental health reasons, and one day I had an experience, kind of like opening your third eye, and I left. I wasn't in my body on Earth, I was in another dimension, and then I was visited by those same blue guys, and as soon as they arrived, all those memories that were locked away, they just came back. I remembered everything they told me. They are from a dimension in the future where humans have evolved beyond their physical forms and ascended into spiritual beings. And because of that, the laws of physics don't matter. They're able to communicate telepathically. That's how they were communicating with me. I actually got to see what it was like in their heads. It was like a collective group thoughts, and it was so loud and so overwhelming. I couldn't handle it. It's one thing to experience it, but I couldn't imagine existing like that. But it was more than just them. There was more. It was a collective consciousness of all living things as one. Like every single living creature in the universe in one mind. And they told me that they're trying to invite us, they want to awaken us to our spiritual selves. But we're being blocked by a system right now that's trying to suppress that potential, and that they need to help us shed it, to get rid of it, because in the future, our future, if we stay as we are, they showed me that we end up destroying ourselves and the planet with us. And that has disastrous effects on other intelligent beings that we have a connection with that we can't see. But they said that if they can prevent that, if we can wake up, it'll result in an amplification of the spread of this collective mind that they're trying to share. They called it the Great Purification of all consciousness. It sounds super culty, but having gotten to experience it, even just for a brief time, it's overwhelming, sure, but it was amazing. I never felt so safe, so at home.